Kush's movie review.
This week's Kush's movie review is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, where it's a documentary that depicts how angry Mel Gibson was when he saw a Jewish person. I'm Furiosa!
That's actually very funny.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
bad. It's
yeah.
not really like topical
Could a
because
little tightening up, a little tooling, but that was good. That was
yeah,
really
I
good.
just came up with it on my noggin. I freestyled that one, but yeah, Mel Gibson hates Jews. Anyway, how's the movie?
Movie's really good. This is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. It is rated R. It is 2 hours and 28 minutes. A little long, little long, little long. Um, Written and directed by George Miller. Also written by a guy named Nick Lathorius. I don't know. It stars Anya Taylor-Joy as the Furiosa. Chris Hemsworth plays Dementis, and then a young lady named Elia Brown plays young Furiosa. And actually, she's in the movie more than Anya Taylor-Joy is. It's kind of weird that she's not getting any props, accolades, mentions, or etc. So that's why I threw her name in there. Otherwise, Nathan Jones is also in the movie.
Oh, boo.
So it's Mad Max. It's the Mad Max world. Um, the three worst things about this movie is the runtime. Again, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, make it shorter. It doesn't need to be 2.5 hours. Um, Also, Mad Max doesn't need to be in the title because also Mad Max is in this movie for 30 whole seconds. It is not what's the guy who just played Mad Max recently?
Oh,
Tom Hardy.
Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy. It is not Tom Hardy. It is not Mel Gibson. It is just the back of some dude's head. And he's like, "Oh wow, there's some shit going on in the desert over there. Wow, that's crazy." But I'm not even sure that guy was real. Like, I think it might have just been a CGI composite, honestly. However, this movie is really good. It's a lot of fun. It's very exciting. There's a lot of good action in it. It's George Miller, so it looks beautiful. Yeah, I love George Miller, dude, as a director. Despite the fact this man's been doing it for like over 50 years now, like I still think he's somehow underrated. This is his fifth Mad Max movie. He's done all five of them. They scaled back a little bit. Again, it's 2.5 hours, but they scaled back a little bit. Like after Fury Road, that thing was apparently an odyssey, and everybody hated everybody, and they went so deep into the desert that when people were like, "It's amazing there was no studio interference in this movie." What they did was in Fury Road is they went so far out into the Australian outback that it took a day to get the flash drive back to civilization so they could upload it and send it back to Warner Brothers in Los Angeles. And by the time Warner Brothers gave their notes, it was too late. They were like 3 scenes later into the shoot. Like there's no way to reset
Genius.
anything, and it's
Life
just like,
hack.
yeah, it kind of genius, kind of freaking genius. So, but in this case, I think they went, instead of spending 70 days in the desert, I think we'll just do 46. Eh. Um, they were still in the desert, but there's a lot of green screen in this. There is a lot of CGI. I ain't mad at it, but it felt very obvious to me. However, I had a great time. It's again, if I didn't say this already, it is not as good as the previous Fury Road, but this is still a very good movie. Mike, you and I talk all the time about how we hate prequels, but much like
Hmm.
that Hunger Games prequel we just had, this works. It didn't need to be a prequel. We could have just had Anya Taylor-Joy play Furiosa as a sequel. I actually want to know what happens after they took over the Conclave or the Odyssey or the Compound or whatever it was when Immortan Joe got murdered. But they didn't, so we got what we got. It works. It's very good. It's very fast paced, despite being 2.5 hours. It is very fast paced. I was not bored, but I'm still just like, yeah, some things could be shaved down a little bit. Chris Hemsworth is great. Um, they for some reason put clay on his nose, and I ain't ashamed about that. Like a lot of people get bent out of shape about the prosthetic makeup. But I was just like, he looks just like me when I had long hair and my pandemic beard. Mike, imagine me with long hair and my pandemic beard from 2 years ago. I swear to God, me and Chris Hemsworth could be brothers. Like I could be Liam
Oh
Hemsworth.
yeah.
It'd be amazing.
To me, for the first 60 episodes of this podcast, I thought I was doing a podcast with Liam Hemsworth.
I mean, you might have. I mean, you never know when I sneak in or sneak out. Much like the lady in our front pages segment. Like, yeah, like he filled in for me a few weeks. You didn't know, but we didn't dry snitch on ourselves. So, anyways, uh, all jokes aside, I had a great time with this. Folks are kind of freaking out because it's not making money. Also, this review should have came out last week, but the powers that be and the way things went, it just didn't work out, and nothing else came out this weekend, man. Like there was a couple movies I wanted to see, did not make it to my local Cineplex, did not make it to any theater in San Francisco, not available on Amazon Prime. So we're doing our Furiosa review a week and a half late, but I really enjoyed this. I will see it again when it comes on Netflix. I don't think I want to buy it, but it is very good, and I don't think it's a waste of time. And I want to see more from George Miller. He's 79 years old, so like this, I don't know how he keeps going. I think he's right up there with Clint Eastwood as maybe one of the oldest directors
Well,
alive right now.
he's still got to go for Clint Eastwood's, what is his 90s?
Clint Eastwood is pushing 90 if he isn't past
I
it
think he is. I
already.
think he's like 93 or something.
Fucking hell. Yeah. That guy keeps
And he
going.
looks
So
it. He looks haunting. He looks like
he looks like a ghoul.
if they ever made a new uh Tales from the Crypt, he
Hmm.
would be a really good crypt keeper.
If if season 2 of Fallout stars Clint Eastwood, he would be a ghoul and they wouldn't need to use any prosthetic makeup or CGI stuff.
It's like, oh, look, he just wandered onto set
If they
and they
wanted
just
to
kept it
make a
in.
remake of Poltergeist, he could be the old guy with the gray hair that goes, "You should not pass," or whatever that guy says. I don't
If he was on The Walking Dead, all the zombies would just leave him alone.
know. Right.
Wow,
Yeah,
good for
powerful.
you.
I don't have a rebuttal for that. There you go. So,
But there you go. But yeah,
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. It's not as good as the last one, but it is still very good, and I think you would guys like it. I think I was going somewhere before I got into the whole ghoul thing. People are freaking out that this didn't isn't making money. The last one barely broke even, despite getting like 9 Academy Award nominations and winning some of those nominations as well. Yeah, there you go, Mike Fish. I believe you have questions,
well, my
or at
only
least
thing was like,
comments.
how's the cinematography? I guess because from what I saw
Wonderful.
in the trailer, that some of the scenes looked just bad.
Cartooning.
Yeah, or was it
There's
meant to
that
be like
scene
that?
where Anya Taylor-Joy is hiding behind the gate and fire is enveloping her and she's not being burnt. Yeah, that looks cheesy.
Okay,
Um, so that I mean, what you saw in the trailer, what stands out as bad, it just doesn't look good because they again, that is CG. But then there's some other CG stuff that's cool. They're again going into the other trailers, that thing where she reveals her face and she's got the robot arm. By the way, I don't care how Furiosa got her robot arm. I just don't. Sorry, guys. But we had to squeeze that in. And when we get to the final reveal, it's a good looking scene, honestly. I liked it at least. Um, yeah, they George Miller, again, instead of spending 70 days in the desert, they're like, well, we can do 46 practical days or whatever, however long they spent out there. It wasn't as long as Fury Road. And then they made up everything in post production with CGI. I believe we did a review for 3,000 Years of Longing, and that was where Tilda Swinton fell in love with Idris Elba, the genie, and that was George Miller's previous movie, and I didn't realize at the time, but that thing was all CGI. So he's getting more comfortable with that medium. He's making it work, but he's still ironing out the kinks because he still doesn't understand it fully.
go back to retro, man. Film everything real, unless it's of course it's in space. Then your hands
Well,
are kind
yeah,
of
that
tied.
a little problem filming stuff in space. Mad Max in space, though, how great would that be?
Make it happen. Make
Um,
it happen.
they could make it happen. I'm surprised they haven't, to be honest. Uh, what else do I want to add to this review here? I don't know. I don't think I can add anything else to this review that hasn't been already said. Yeah, I really liked it. It's good. I'm not going to purchase it, but I would recommend everyone see it.
Marvelous. Mad Max. No, Furiosa, a Mad Max story, saga, whatever.
Get rid of that colon. That should just make it Furiosa.
Furiosa. 4 out of 5. Fuck Mel Gibson.
That's all, folks.
Pay me off, Johnny.